Hi, I have four questions for you. Number one, do you believe that the governmental restrictions that are being forced upon us are a violation of our constitutional rights? Number two, do you believe we have the right to choose how we want to live our life, the risk we take, and the safety measures we take regarding our personal health and the health of our families? Number three, do you believe America is a country where true democracy means that government must respond to the desires of the people, not a government forcing and impinging on our human rights with intimidation and coercion? Finally, does it seem the condition that we're in today can be so overwhelming that you're just an individual and no matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference? Hi, I'm Dr. Fred DiDomenico, and I felt the same way. It feels a bit powerless, this government that's over us that is so big, and how can we make a difference? And is it really going to matter if we do anything? And in reality is every person can make a difference. Every individual can come and united with individuals to take actions that can actually take the power back of the American public and the democracy that this was created and our constitutional rights. We can take that power back. Now, your advantage for doing something, even if it's a small action, is that's how you get rid of the anger and the frustration and the insanity of the contradictions that are happening all over the place. I mean, a marijuana shop is essential, but a church is non-essential. I mean, there's 8 million things that we can do that just don't make sense, and we want to get our sanity and a real world back. And the reality is you can make a difference. So I'm going to give you a vehicle where you can take your power back. And this is a letter. It's a legal letter that shows how the government has not only impinged on our constitutional rights, but the decisions that they've made have no scientific basis. This whole pandemic, the whole lockdown, the whole economic lockdown, all of it, how the things we're doing have no scientific basis, which is a requirement to be able to enforce the restrictions in areas that our human rights are being violated. And that's why it's called actually domestic terrorism. It is a requirement for scientific data. And what's really been happening, this has been based on personal opinion, speculation, and political opinion. And I'm not even going to go into the political agenda. There is no legal foundation for any of the decisions that have been made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a copy of this letter, and you're getting a copy of this, and I'm going to give you 6 steps. If you can take 15 minutes and 6 steps that you can gain power, that we can unite as the American public and make a difference in the government and stop the insanity. So here's step 1. 1, read the letter, because when you read this, although it's long and it's kind of technical and there's a lot of legal jargon, this is going to give you what's really going on behind the scenes. This is part of what's really going on behind the scenes. You're going to learn things that you're going to go, this has to stop. Okay, so definitely read the letter. Number 2, now right across the top of the letter, it says, Dear, and you're going to address President, U.S. Attorney General, Governor, Public Health. Now you actually have to Google and look up this information in your state. So when you address U.S. Attorney General, State Attorney General, Governor, Public Health Official of California, you're going to address it to them, and then you get the address of where you can mail this to. So you're going to have to Google that information. 3, print, once you enter that information, print a copy. Print it out. 4, sign it. There's 2 places where you sign. 1, see where it says signature, sincerely on page 1, and then on page 4, sincerely yours. So then print it, sign it. 3, address an envelope and mail it. Now, when you Google the information, if you get an email, just forward the email. You want to physically mail this. So you're going to do one to your governor, your U.S. State Attorney General. You can do it to the Public Health Department in your state. You can even send one to the White House, to the president. So if we just take and make a few copies of this and do this, we are taking action. Now, what if this took 30 minutes? 30 minutes to change the direction of the country. Because if we don't do this, what's coming down the pike are even bigger violations, not only of our Constitution, but of how we are going to live our life, that will go from a democracy and it's already becoming a dictatorship. So I just thank you for contributing. If you're a chiropractor, put this in your state and just put the information, send this out to your patients, so all they have to do is mail it. If you're an individual, you got to do a little bit of information. And so if you do this, we can make a difference together to send hundreds of thousands of these to government officials, so we can make an impact and say, as Americans, we uphold our constitutional rights. It doesn't mean you don't have to shelter. It doesn't mean you don't have to wear a mask. Do what you choose. But the important thing is that we have a choice. So thank you for choosing independence. Thank you for choosing the American Constitution. And thank you for standing up so that we won't be dominated, that we will live that independent life, country, and liberty and prosperity that this country was and the Constitution was created for. Thank you.